Howdy, folks. Here with another video for a different Cummins coolant tank, 6.7 third or no, excuse me, 6.7 fourth gen coolant tank. So this one is a black market performance. As you may have seen, I did another post recently on one from GNR Diesel. For some reason, I couldn't get the fitment correct with the mounting tabs, and would have, in order for that thing to get right and fit in there at all without it, it was I don't know, it was not clean, so it would have required some work. So ordered this. First off, I would say that black. I obviously haven't ordered everything from Black Market, but I've ordered several products from them now, and this one is by far my favorite. So note that on their website it says it only comes in black. I did put in the footnotes, requested a raw one because I'm not a fan of the black, and they actually shipped one. So I was very impressed with that. It came relatively quickly, I think less than maybe a week and a half. And so super impressed there. Again, their packaging on this, I don't know if I've ever had anything that packed quite as good as this. This thing was wrapped in plastic, foam, and then I'm not kidding, literally maybe 35 to 40 feet of brown packing paper. It was crazy to get this thing out, how much paper. So it was packed really well. Just impressed with that. I'll just walk you through some of my initial impressions. The ends are a thick, and can't tell exactly how thick with the weld, but I mean, it's thick. I don't know, half, 5/8. I mean, it's thick piece. So of machined aluminum, top and bottom. The welds, wherever they seem, where they welded this thing, I can't even tell. As far as the box is concerned, what corner, you can tell this thing is it's nice. They give you the sensor this is the bottom. You have your heater, your main, I guess you would say, your fill from, as you fill your tank going into the main line. So you have your heater hose connection for 3/4, which note that is bigger than the OE. So you got to figure out that. But that is nice. They give you another port, which I put the plug in. So in theory, though, you could figure out a different way if you wanted to utilize this. You've got the option. Coming back to this bracket, nice powder coated steel bracket. So nothing issue there. Very heavy duty feeling piece. And then let me flip you over to the top. So, and again, all machined. Just the machine work on this thing is really freaking cool. And yeah, these are tapped, as you can see, for those bolts to hold the bracket, and then fits the stock cap, and then the pressure relief. Now, the only thing, just off of an initial test fit, this is hitting my firewall. So I'm gonna have to, I don't know, figure out. Hopefully, I can get a way to, I don't know, figure out something there. So that's kind of weird. I'm kind of surprised by the clearance issue there. So hopefully I can just squeeze it in there. This thing might be rubbing on there, but I don't know what else to do. Or at the end of the day, I just pull this guy off of there, or even just maybe grind some of this down so I don't have clearance issues. But I'm surprised by that. I'm maybe like machining. I don't know. I think that there's different ways you could have machined this, such as putting it over this way for this relief coming off of the cap, so that way, you're in towards the engine. Your engine's right here. So that's just my only thought there. So what it comes with is obviously comes just with all the fittings. This fitting, your 2 plugs, O-ring, Boss fitting there. A second one in case you don't block that off, and then it comes with 2 push lock ANs, and yeah, they're all nice and capped when you get them. Now it does come with some zinc hardware. Black bolts for something else, but this is the hardware it came with, except for that black one. And I thought this piece is way too pretty to just put together with some zinc, so I went and got some stainless hardware, as you can see that it's fitted with now. So yeah, stainless hardware, went and got that. And I think that the way this thing's designed is you're supposed to be able to slip the tank in and out. But I think I'm just going to put it in as one unit and bolt it in rather than, because this black steel mounting bracket is notched, so like you could just drop this down in there, which would probably work. But I don't know how you would tighten up. Well, maybe if you had not changed these over to a Allen head. But maybe if you just had a regular hex bolt in there, maybe you'd be able to get in there with a wrench from this way, because your battery box is right here. So this mounts the battery box, in case I did not say that. It does not mount to the firewall. Unlike their website, I think it says mounts in the factory location or something along those lines. Does not. Mounts on the box. There's no instructions. But this is what you get. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to throw it in there, and I'll just let you know if I have any issues and give you my thoughts after it's mounted in there. But initially, this piece looks amazing. And so far, very little that I would change with it. So once again, impressed with Black Market here, and the quality of this tank just feels. I mean, it's heavy. It is a heavy piece, which is not that it needs to be heavy, but it is just nice feeling piece. I think anybody would be impressed with this. So I'll cut back in a little bit. All right, I'm back here with this tank, and I got it roughed in here. So guess I'll just show you from the top here first. But basically, yeah. So we got our battery tray. We can see here. Let me get braced here so I can talk. But so I think this is the hole they want you to use. It's an existing hole that I just reamed out a little bit with the bit. Then that pushed that a little too close to. There's, hang on, let's see if I can get you in here. To this wire, it was really pushing hard. Now it's touching that wire still, but I'll keep an eye on that, make sure it's not vibrating or rubbing through that at all. But yeah, so this is how it's fitting in there. Real tight clearance. It does have a little gap on the back here. Now I've got that, now that helped when I shifted it over to the outside passenger of the pickup here. So yeah, that's kind of how she sits. Nice and stable. You can still kind of get in here to turn your your cap. Okay, so I mean, you got just enough clearance. Obviously, you're going to want probably a nice funnel to fill this now, kind of a narrow one to come in at an angle. My only other piece of feedback is this this 90 is, I think I'm going to order a 45 for this. So that way when it's coming up and out to line up with this, I'm not like kinking that hose too much. So I'm going to probably order a 45 for that. And otherwise, I mean, you can see there's the nipple coming this way. I'm probably I might rotate that towards the front of the pickup more, but we'll see how this all comes together with all the T's and everything to feed the turbo or the return from the turbo. And get under here. So there's the bottom of it. There's the two stainless bolts holding the bracket onto the battery tray. And then I got my sensor right there. And got the plug. So I'll plug that in. There's the old studs for the old tank. 1, 2, and then up top. So yeah, anyways, just thought I'd share how this thing came together. So I'm pretty excited about it. And I don't know. That's where she's at the moment. So, yeah.